Hello everyone, and welcome back. In this reading, we're just going to do a quick daily check-in just to see what you should be focusing on today. What's what's the focus for today? What are you doing today? What's going on? Let's focus on that. Now, if you haven't been on my channel before, how I do things is instead of pick a card readings, you can go to the playlist, which I will link below. That will also be full of other daily check-ins, and you can pick a reading from there. And I'll continue to add more to that playlist as time goes on. So, at some point there might be many, many to choose from. So that's how I do it. So if this reading in particular, if these decks in particular don't resonate with you, there will be others in the playlist. So feel free to check that out. And if you'd like to check out any other playlists, any other questions, those will also have their own playlist that you can also check out. So let's get into this reading. For this particular reading, we have the Ostara deck. This will be the tarot deck I'll be using. And then I'll also be using the Celtic Tree Oracle deck and my Synchronicity Oracle. Now, I actually haven't used this one for a reading yet, so I'm kind of excited to do that. It's a little bit different than what you might normally see. So let's see if that brings us any interesting information. All right, let's get started. All right. So what is your, oh, hello. Hello. What is your focus for today? Wow, that one just fell the heck out. Moon. I'm going to put that one right in the center. I get the feeling that was important, a very important message that had to come out with this energy. Let's see. What is your energy for today? Oh, hello? Oh, I'm getting the feeling things are a little rough financially. Page of Wands. Beautiful. All right, just to get started on this quick reading, right? I see immediately, I think I'm just getting the immediate sense that maybe right now you're kind of in financial straits, let's just say. Maybe you lost a lot of money recently, you had to make a big expense, you're feeling a lot nervous about your money, or, could be even worse than that, honestly. But at the very least, something financial is really, really concerning you. And I feel like that's a huge worry you have right now. And perhaps part of the reason you're here is just like, is this going to get better? What should I focus on? And I also get the sense, I don't know why I'm reading it this way, but I just get the sense you're kind of a dreamer. And that maybe you see things a little bit differently than they actually are. So, that's kind of what the moon card's about. It's usually about illusion. But I definitely get the sense that in this very harsh reality you're living in, where it can kind of feel like the absolute end of the world. And, even in especially bad situations, it might really actually feel like the end of the world. And I also feel like that same attitude is being kind of brought to other areas in your life too. I really kind of feel like you are imagining things as a little bit worse than they are right now, to some degree. So I feel like there's some grounding that needs to happen in that regard. I think that I'm going to say that for whoever chose this pal, things might seem bad. Things might seem really bad, but they will get better. And I feel like what you're experiencing right now is that, the bad, the going down, right? And that always feels horrible. And we sometimes forget to focus on, okay, what do I still have that's good? What can I still be grateful for, right? Something like that. So yeah, I feel like we kind of need to be a little bit careful with the energy of being a daydreamer, really. The energy, because that energy can take you down kind of the negative side of that, right? And I feel like that's kind of what you're seeing the illusion of feeling like everything's lost to some degree. So maybe you kind of came into today feeling a little bit hopeless, feeling a little bit lost, feeling a little bit like, how could things possibly get better? There's like a sense of kind of desperation. But I'm also getting a sense of someone who is creative, someone who has ideas. And I'm almost wondering if this is something like maybe you were laid off recently, maybe you lost a job recently, maybe that's what this is here. Or you know, again, it could be anything else. Could just be that you're losing money. But I feel like you have like a really creative idea, like ideas of things you wish you could do, things you wish you could make money off of, and this is a really playful, fun energy. And to me, what I'm kind of seeing is like you have a talent. You might even have many talents, to be honest, and you have ideas and visions. And what you're not doing is putting them actually into action. You're just continuing to dream about it. And you may have been doing this for a very long time. So I'm getting a sense of that's kind of this energy you're in. Like reality is not great. And you're imagining reality to be worse than it is. But then you're also, on the flip side, almost imagining this dream to be better than it is. And what I mean by that is you're allowing yourself to, how do I put this in proper words? You're allowing yourself to live in your dream. You're allowing yourself to put so much stock in the dream. And what I mean by that is like, rather than bringing it into reality, you're keeping them separate. I'm seeing a separation here between horrible reality and beautiful vision in your head, and you're keeping that separate. When in reality, what the energy that I'm seeing right now is you need to bring them together. And what you're going to find is that this is actually better than you thought. And this has some, you know, realistic limitations that you probably weren't considering because, you know, it's not reality yet. Not a bad thing, but that's what I'm kind of seeing. The combination of these two, bringing that together, breaking down those illusions. And I think what you'll find is there's a good balance to be had between them, right? Almost like temperance, even if the temperance card didn't come out, right? In fact, I'm going to pull one more card because I'm just getting a feeling that there's another message here that's not in just the oracles. Hello. Wheel of Fortune. Yes. That's a good one. Yeah, I feel like this, and this is what I mean with the balance, right? Like this could go anywhere. What you do next, like it can lead you in any direction. And right now, what I feel like is that you're in a cycle that's going to keep continuing. It's going to keep cycling until you learn the lesson. And part of the lesson here I'm seeing is, rather than allowing these like constant financial ups and downs, like it's a change needs to happen. And I think part of this change here is, okay, you know, that creative thing that you've been holding off on? Well, guess what? Being realistic and practical and all the stuff that you have been doing hasn't really been working out the way that you hoped. So why don't you bring this into reality? Why don't you try and bring this into something? It doesn't mean necessarily, we're not just saying like, oh, go forth, follow your dreams. But I think you might find that you're happier if you bring this out, right? Whatever this is, whatever this creative, fun, passionate energy is, something creative. I know it's something creative that you probably have felt that you like can't bring into your world right now. And again, cycle. There's a cycle going on here, and you're never going to be able to break out of it unless you get this to happen. So I think today's energy is really about focusing on that. It's focusing on what lesson am I supposed to be learning right now, right? And how can I break down this barrier, this illusion that I've put up for myself? It's not easy. So this is almost doesn't even feel like daily. This is a hard energy. Sorry, guys. But let's pull a tree. I'm gonna have to read these out of the book because I don't know all of the meanings of the trees, and they don't write any keywords for me. One day maybe I'll know. Let's see. What is your... Ooh, this one kind of stuck out. We have... I don't know how to pronounce these. I'm really sorry. We're going to move you guys a little bit down. We'll just put you over here. I feel like you need to be in the middle here. That's how I'm feeling, because these have to be separate. But we have... or spindle. I don't know how to pronounce it again. This is Celtic, the Celtic tree deck. And then let's also pull our Synchronicity deck. And then this one's really, really interesting, and I'll explain how it'll work in a moment. Okay, let's see. This one's really hard to shuffle. Oh, hello, hello. Okay. Oh, hello. And you have things to say as well. Aha. I see the synchronicity here. That's the only one. Okay. Interesting. And it's actually appropriate that we're using these, because how these work is you find the synchronicities in the pictures between the decks, and that helps you find a synchronicity, a connection, right? And we're talking about reality kind of versus the dream world, so I kind of feel like this is going to be appropriate. And that's probably how I ended up reading it. But let's see what tree you got. Again, I don't know how to pronounce these properly. I'll have to look that up at some point. Where's spindle? Fulfillment, delight, light. This card, insight. This is about insight and clarity and enlightenment. Yeah, I feel like there's, again, this lack of connection you have has a lot to do with not being fully aware of where you're at right now and not being fully aware of the lessons you're supposed to be learning. So I think what this is really telling you today is that today is going to be a day of enlightenment. Today is your time to really sit there and think and figure out get clear on what the universe, God, whatever you believe in is trying to tell you. What are they trying to tell you right now? Your spirit guides, whatever you believe in. Because I think they're trying to get a message across to you, and that's why you're stuck in this constant cycle here, right? That's why you're stuck in this cycle and why you're constantly separating these out, because you need something to believe in, right? And you don't want to get rid of that, but there's a message that's trying to be told to you, and I definitely kind of feel like it has something to do with this talent and gift that you bring into this world, right? So yeah, and this thing is about sudden insight and clarity. So I feel like today is a day when you're going to get that. It's just going to be like an aha moment, but it is, that's not something that always just comes to you out of nowhere, right? So I do think that it's good to be aware of this and to start thinking. And while it might seem pointless as you're thinking, you might be like, I don't understand. I still don't get it. Nothing's coming to me. You might, as you're thinking, all of a sudden come across this insight and clarity. So don't stop. It says you're asked to remember that you are asked to remember that you are a being of light and to see the light in every person you meet and every situation you enter. The tree brings illumination and insight. So perspective. Understanding that the situation you're in is not as bad as you think it is. Maybe there's a reason, and I'm not going to say, like, obviously it kind of sucks when some of this stuff happens and you're like, well, what's the reason? I have no idea. Why am I the one having to go through this? I think that's where you're at right now. And well, let's look up this synchronicity. I want to look up this archer so we can kind of figure out. Let's see, where is the archer? Come on, archer, come out. Come to me. Yeah, here we go. It's actually Sagittarius. I should have known that. It's instinct, prophecy. We like that. So this is Sagittarius energy. Maybe you're a Sagittarius. That could be a sign that this is for you. There's instinct. I feel like there's a part of you. This is fiery energy, and this is fiery energy too. There's a part of you, this passion, this something that needs to come out, again, into reality. And that's the connection here. I think in your real life, you've maybe lacked this a little bit, but you still have it internally, and you can't keep that from seeping out sometimes. Maybe it's gotten you into trouble. Maybe that fiery energy is what got you into this situation. But again, that's kind of the connection we have here between reality and your dreams, is you have this passionate energy. And I think you'd be surprised to see that it's not just in your head. You actually have it. So I'd say for today, our daily check-in, this was a lot. I feel like this was a pretty heavy one as far as daily check-ins go. I think today is your day to really do some reflection and thinking. If you have the ability to take some time off work or to pause and work and reflect a little bit, do that. If you have some time to journal, do that. If you have time to take a walk and just reflect, wherever you think you reflect best. Maybe it's talking it out with someone too. This is your day to figure out what it is that this cycle's trying to teach you, and whatever that is, that's your focus. Might not be just for today, it might even be for longer, but whatever it is, that is your focus. And I get the sense that, again, whatever it is, it's tied to this passionate, fiery energy that you have. This passion, this creativity, this wands energy that you have just aren't really bringing out as much as you probably should or could. And this, I feel like, is kind of your gift to some degree. And again, you're kind of keeping it inside. So imagine this cycle is trying to teach you something related to that. But that's your lesson to learn. And that's your lesson to figure out. This is the insight that you need to gain into your own life today. So I would spend some time really thinking about that and doing things that help you reflect on whatever that is. And if you find it hard to reflect, there are other tarot readings out there that might help you with a little bit of insight, or again, talk it out with someone. Whatever really you can do, but I would definitely not avoid this, because again, otherwise you end up right back in that cycle all over again, and you're just going to repeat it. You're doomed to repeat it. That's kind of how these cycles work. If you do not learn the lesson, you're put back into the cycle with a different coat of paint. We've all been through it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you got something out of this. If you made it all the way through and this still did not resonate with you, I will have more daily check-ins in this playlist at some point. So thank you so much for joining, and see you in the next reading.